make yourselves comfortable. I'm the Chevrolet Communications Manager for Chevrolet Tahoe and Suburban. I also have Volt in my lane, so I have the full, from Volt to Tahoe. If there's any questions you have, I'm happy to answer them. My colleague Monty wanted to come in my suitcase today. I understand you had an amazing event with him with the Corvette. He threatened that he could talk Tahoe, and I told him no. So what I'd like to do today is talk a little bit about the full-size market. I think that some of you may be surprised at the breadth of the market. I know you see a lot of them on the road here. Florida is particularly a really strong market for us. So Texas, California, Southern Florida, New York, very, very strong market. So I'll just walk through these. The right way. Well, maybe I won't play.
Where were you on vacation?
Oh. That's where Mama was going. We were in Lake Tahoe at midnight. Okay. Yeah, I'm fine. All right. So why is Tahoe and Suburban so important to GM? And I'm going to play a little bit with my GMC colleagues on the Yukon and Yukon Denali and Yukon XL side because we're one big happy family. This product is really important to us. It represents about 7% of our volume, or 180,000 units. So that's a huge segment for General Motors. If you were to take those four brands, we would be the 19th largest automotive brand. Another way to think about it, if just those four vehicles, we would be our own Fortune 400 company. So we would rival MasterCard, Hershey, just to kind of give you an idea of what these products mean to us. A lot of you probably know we've seen some huge swings in the large SUV, full-size SUV market from the 70s when station wagons were really hot and people switched from larger cars into station wagons. They then moved in the 90s into full-size utilities. There were great lease deals, and so we had a lot of what my marketing director likes to call posers, people who really didn't need a Tahoe, but because of the style and the feeling that they got with them and the cheap lease deals, we had a huge spike in people who were driving them. We had a recession. Obviously, people got more interested in fuel economy, and we've kind of seen that even off. It got to a good run place. GM has about 1.6% share total. If you add in Escalade, which is huge in the Miami area, we're at about 2.2%. So that's still significant volume. A lot of people question, why do we have a full-size utility market? Well, that's why. It's very important to us. And we expect that to stay. We don't expect that to decline. As in the next 5 years, we see it steadily staying the same, and we don't see it decreasing. Another little quick factoid for you is Chevrolet Tahoe sells more than any other mid-lux car, luxury car. In fact, a lot of our customers will compare a Mercedes and a Tahoe together for a price range or some of the features that you get in a mid-lux type of sedan. They go and look at a Tahoe or compare it to it. On the market today, you guys probably noticed from the truck launch too, our trucks and full-size utilities that people are driving today are rather old. On average, they're 10, 11 years old. And then we really dominate the market with 74% share. Tahoe being the leader, and you can see Suburban at 17, Yukon at 13, Yukon at XL at 10%. So we want to hold on to this market. These are very important trucks for us. The other thing that's really interesting about these is the transaction price has continued to go up. We have about $47,000 or more per transaction. So in terms of what we get from revenue from these vehicles, as well as what people are willing to pay for all the content that are inside of these, it's impressive. And then I wanted to give you a feel for what's coming in the market. So you'll see here that even though we have dominant market share, we have a lot of room to grow because we But one of the things that they really wanted to do when they set out to do the new Tahoe and Suburban, because it's been a while since we've had new ones, is really have a compelling design where you can really tell, yes, that's a Tahoe, yes, that's a Suburban, but give it a little bit of a cleaner, more athletic look. You guys take a look at the truck outside. It's 1 inch lower, it's 1 inch wider, and it gives it that kind of still athletic stance. You'll recognize it as a Tahoe, but it's not necessarily, it's a little bit cleaner, especially if you put the current model next to the new one. You can really tell the difference. Second, they want it to be very functional and practical and safe. The number one reason why our consumers choose Tahoe and Suburban is for the safety. So this is the safest Tahoe yet. You can find so many safety systems in this vehicle. I was trying to find a couple ways to turn a few of them off last night because the car was buzzing at me so much. I don't know what that says about my driving, but it's impressive. So, and the last point, obviously fuel economy is extremely important. We haven't announced those numbers yet. We'll do that when we get a little bit closer to the drive and when you guys get them into market here in March. But it's important. A couple things that you'll notice, we finally have full flat seats, thank you Ford. So in the back of the car, instead of having to lug out those 40-pound seats and try to maneuver them into your garage, and then you go somewhere and you want to drive with extra people in your car and there's no way to get the seats back in because you left them at home. Now with the switch of a button in less than 3 seconds, the back seats will fold down flat.
Nice.
The other thing is, it is an option on SLT to have powerful flats, the rest of it, but both the SL and the SLT have full flat. I talked technology. Wind noise, just like on the trucks, how many of you have driven the new Sierra and Silverado? You guys driven that yet? Leslie, are you guys bringing the trucks down? Yeah. They are the quietest in the industry, so they did a lot of work on wind noise. We did a lot of testing where they invited PR to come in, where we could sit in the third seat and you can now have a conversation with the person in the front seat. You can actually hear it. So it is impressive what they've been able to do. From a technology standpoint too, there are now 12 connections in the vehicle. So if your children are in the back seat or your guests are in the back seat and they want to hook up and you're on a long trip, everybody can have their own hookups now. There's Blu-ray discs, so they've taken it a leap forward from what we really had today. One of the things that people ask about, well, what's different from the GMC side versus the Tahoe side? So on the GMC, it's the styling on the exterior for their customer. We have a little bit different refinement. They also have a 6.2 liter available on their Denali version. The inlaid doors are new for us this year. When you guys open and shut the doors, check that out. It's a much wider, softer pushing compared to before. You also, for some people, I know when you're getting in and out of the car and you have a skirt on and heels, or if pants getting stuck on the inlaid doors, also provide greater room to get in and out of the car. You'll notice that you have more leg room. And then the last thing I'll really talk about that you'll notice, and I really encourage you to get in the vehicle today and turn it on, is the center console in the cockpit area. They really took that to the next level compared to what we see today. And it's very much that wraparound style. If you guys all drove Corvettes, you know that feeling that you get with the wraparound. This is obviously a much larger vehicle and everybody needs their own space, but you still get that feeling of wraparound. Very easy to get to different dials. Things are rounder, smoother, easier to get to. The other thing is there's a lot of storage areas for umbrellas, for phones. As in the Impala, the screen goes up so you can hide your keys or your phone when you're parked in there for security reasons. So lots of new features. Here's the list of everything from a safety perspective. Like I said, our customers buy these cars because they're safe and secure. One thing that is new for this year vehicles, they're stealing tires off these vehicles. And we've really made it impossible, whether it's a standard feature or a package. It now has steering column lock. The cylinder on the door has additional steel. And then there's all sorts of sensors and movements that really we didn't have before that are a package, and there's no way to jack up this vehicle anymore and steal the tires. There's no way to break the glass without alarms going off or have any movement in the car without alarms going off. So quite an improvement, and our customers should see insurance cost reductions because of that. So it's a win-win for us. This is the new family of engines that started with Silverado. It's the Ecotec 3 5.3 liter. It'll be standard on both Suburban and Tahoe. Electric power steering. And then lastly, on the infotainment side, I mentioned this a little bit, but there's really no reason that the people in the back seat can't be as entertained as the people in the front seat. So whether they want to watch movies, be connected to their iPhones, their iPad, charging, everybody has their own station. I'm happy to email this out to you. I really didn't want to stand up and talk at you a lot. I'd much rather be out by the car and walk around in it with you and show it off. I'm very, very proud of it, and I'm happy to do this. If any of you want this presentation, I'm happy to send this to you as well, and you can get more information. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with media.gm.com. We have a special Tahoe section that has tons of pictures and press releases and specs and all that stuff. But after lunch, I'll be out by the car, and I'll be happy to answer any questions. Or if you have questions, then I'm happy to take those too. The truck kind of speaks for itself. Is there anything I can?
What's the price?
We haven't announced price yet. We will probably do that in January, right around the Detroit Auto Shows. Yes.
Is it a V8 also available?
A V8, yes.
Michelle?
Yes.
Actually, earlier this year, I talked to one of your engineers, but you told me you were doing a lot of work on a diesel. Any word on when that could be?
No, I can't talk about diesel.
Okay.
I know that people are looking at things on all of the truck portfolio for diesel, but I have nothing that I can announce. Any other questions? Yes, sir.
Are they still going to make a 3/4 ton, 2,500 model?
I'm sorry, one more time.
They're going to still make a 3/4 ton version of the Suburban? The heavy duty one? Just
They don't have announced plans for that yet, but I would definitely think that would be in the plan. These are all made in Arlington, Texas at one plant. And right now, we only announced the Tahoe Suburban that, I'm sorry I can't confirm that, but I would fully expect it. Any other questions?